Hello, my name is Matt, and this is pretty much the first video that I've ever made. I don't really even know what the name of my channel will be if I'm going to continue doing this, but I figured I didn't find any info on this site, saw it through an advertisement, and I figured there may be some people who would benefit and would search for it in the same way that I did, and hopefully it can save you guys a little bit of money. So I came across this site Hypedrop through a Facebook advertisement. Now, if you're not familiar with Hypedrop or you don't know what these kinds of sites do, is basically what it is. It's a virtual loot box system in which you buy a box for $2.99, but you probably have the potential to get some pretty nice stuff out of it. We've got some iPhone XSs and some other pretty nice cell phone models, as well as some off-brand models, some peripherals, and then if we come all the way down to what the lower tier items are, some like USB lightning cables and pop sockets, and really just like a universal phone holder and a nylon aux cable. So for $2.99, the worst thing that you can really get is an item worth $2.99, right? Kind of. You may have to pay shipping on a few of these items depending on where they're coming from. And to be honest, the value that they attribute to this is often kind of misleading. Reason I say that is if we look at some of these other loot boxes that are available. Let me actually just, instead of scrolling all the way up, let's go back over here. Gaming on a Budget was one that kind of intrigued me. And if we look at that one, because I'm a PC guy, I like to build PCs. They've got the value of a RTX 2080 Ti 11 gigabit at $1,806. If we were to Google that, let's go ahead and see what that would be. This is actually really like 1200 from, a quick Google search. Hypedrop, however, is listing it at $1,800, so about a $600 markup, which is pretty significant. i9 9900K at $701. It's actually closer to about $500 depending on where you purchase it. So the values that they attribute to this are pretty skewed. So when we see $2.99 for this cord, or $4.99 for Scribblenauts, yeah, somebody may purchase Scribblenauts for $4.99, but you're probably going to have a pretty hard time letting go of it, so you're probably not getting your money back. The other thing that's interesting about the way that the purchasing system works is when you go over here to top up, the first screen that it takes you to is gift cards, parentheses, PayPal available, which means that you can pay for these gift cards with PayPal. Here's the interesting thing about the way this system works. This is the first screen that you're taken to, and unless you look at card and prepaid, you may not see the option to actually purchase directly with a credit card. And I did not want to make accounts for these other sites and load my credit card info to them or anything like that, so I did not go this route. What's interesting is if we look at, let's say, G2A Pay, $50 card. It's going to take us over here. So G2A, this is the weird thing with G2A. It's all in euros, so we're not going to do that. Let's go with Game Evo. Let's go to a $50 card from Game Evo. For $50 of credit on Hypedrop, we're actually probably going to be spending $53, and then with some additional surcharges for purchasing and things like that, and tax possibly, it's probably going to come out to about $56. What I think is happening here is that Hypedrop is selling their own gift cards on these sites and getting additional money. So you are probably purchasing $50 worth of credit, but for the $50, you're probably spending $55, upwards of that. So it's kind of dubious, but also really smart the way that this model works. It is super surprising that somebody kind of thought of this and put this into place, but I'm sure that it works. I think that I may have heard of this site a long time ago, so it's still up, but I had never done anything like this. So what I did, just to kind of show you what we're at, I had purchased $20 just to kind of give it a test. I was like, you know what, $20, I can live without $20. It's worth seeing if this site is actually worth anything. Out of that $20, I probably got about $8 worth of equipment. Now, what I got was a universal phone holder, basically just a stand for $2.99, a USB-C to USB micro USB adapter, Grand Theft Auto 3, Scribble Knots, and a basically a little earphone pouch. The lowest end item for each one of the loot boxes I opened 5 loot boxes. Now, what I was able to do with those items was sell it back to Hypedrop. And so from selling those items back to Hypedrop, they gave me about $8-9 worth of credit in Hypedrop. So what I'm going to do with that $8 or $9 worth of credit from Hypedrop is we're going to open the smartphone tuning box. Now, the reason I was opening this box earlier is because my fiance, soon-to-be wife, has a broken phone, and we're in the middle of, trying to replace it at the moment, but phones are super expensive, especially iPhones, and it's just not necessarily a purchase that we have to make in the next couple days, right? So I figured, $6, $8, whatever. If I get a cheap phone, even if it's not one of the high tier ones, it's at least one she can use, and we can put off having to replace it with whatever she wants to get down the line. So if we come all the way down to the bottom, you can see what I won out of those 3 cases that I opened. One was a Type-C to micro USB adapter. One was a universal phone holder. And the other one was portable case for earphones. Now, I'm pretty sure if I had had this shipped to my house, I would have had an extremely hard time recouping my money for those items. I don't think anybody would really pay for these, especially something like this. This is a very, very circumstantial situational item that not everybody would need. So is the USB Type-C to 3.5mm audio jack. I think the Google Pixel 3 doesn't have an audio jack and requires something like that, but, I can't really say much more on that because I don't know. But what we're going to do is I got, I think, 3 more boxes with what I got back from selling the other stuff. So we're going to open some boxes and see what turns out. So maybe I'll get proven wrong, and maybe I just had a really bad streak of luck with the first 5 boxes that I opened. But we'll see. So let's go ahead and test out the waters. So I wonder what we're going to end up with today. So VPB S12 earphone. Let's see what that is. It's not listing a price up there. Let's see, all the way down here. $2.99. Absolute lowest end of the tier again. Couldn't even get lucky and maybe get like a $6 USB-C cable. So $2.99 is the value of that item. Let's go ahead and spin again. Oh, I can sell it. Oh, I think I can sell one of my boxes for $2.37. So if I purchase a box and don't want it, I can't just return it. I have to sell it back at a loss. So just to kind of see what may happen, let's see if the preview ends up any differently. So I'm wondering if on a preview, I'm going to end up getting one of those high tier items. That's pretty interesting. So I do like that. The preview seems to be pretty accurate as to what you're going to end up probably getting. They do color code these pretty much the same way that most video games have their loot systems color coded. So gray is going to be like the lowest tier that you can get. So out of 2 previews, we've gotten 2 grays. Let's see what the third one is, because that'll pretty much account to like 4 spins for us with the one that I've purchased. Okay, so you know, pretty consistent. At least they're pretty transparent about the item that you are probably going to end up with, which is nice. And hadn't seen the preview item, so keep your eye out for that if you're looking at sites like these. So let's go ahead and open another box. I can't do anything with the money that's already in this account, so I'm figuring let's just spin and see what happens. Yep, another $2.99 item. So let's go ahead and open up the last box here. It'll be surprising if I get anything outside of a gray piece of trash, but we'll see. Okay, so I got a pop socket for $17.13. So let's go over to my profile here and we'll see what my items are. So, just to kind of keep this train rolling, because I don't need any of this. I don't want it shipped to me. I can't really sell it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sell it back to Hypedrop. So let's sell this pop socket for $11.09. Yep. We'll sell this one for $1.18. Yep. And we'll sell this one for $2.37. Yep. So, just to kind of keep the train rolling, see if we can win my fiance one of those smartphones. I'm just going to spend everything I got opening these guys. So let's see how many I can get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 boxes, which is not bad, but you know, I haven't actually obtained anything yet. I've just been basically recycling my purchases into Hypedrop. Nothing that I've gotten is something that I want, and so therefore, you know, I'm still in the whole $20 because right now I don't have anything to show for that $20. So just to see if we can get some of those gray spins out the way. I don't know how their randomization system works, but I figured let's roll a preview first and see what ends up happening. Cool. So we got one gray out the way. Let's do another one. I don't think it's going to make a difference, but I'm sure other people think the same way that I do. All right, so we got 2 out the way. Let's go ahead and open one of these bad boys up and see what we get. Stop. See? Looked super close to getting a watch, an Apple Watch Series 4. And if that had been the case, I probably would have retracted all of my suspicions about this site. But I did not, and for some reason, it's not allowing me to open another box. So let me go ahead and refresh this page real quick and see why it's doing that. Okay, so we're going to refresh, spin one time, see if we can get a gray out the way. And we'll open one of these boxes. So 386 pair of earbuds. Fantastic. And for some reason, this site's just kind of halting up on me each time I open one of these boxes. So what I'm going to do is refresh again. We'll spin a preview a couple times. That seems super fucking rigged. Excuse my French. For it to go so slowly over the AirPods and just barely make it over into yet another gray item. So I'm also curious as to why this site just seems to kind of be crapping its pants as well. I'm not even going to bother doing any of the preview spins because I'm not really sure what's happening here. But You know, let's see how many times we can basically recycle this purchase until we get something of value, which is probably not going to be too much longer, to be honest, because most of our pulls have been absolute garbage. Oh, that stopped a lot cleaner on the gray. We didn't see that kind of lag towards the end of almost going to an HTC U12 Life. So let's see how much longer we can kind of keep this going to recycle our funds. It looks like we're hitting the end of that train, however. So I'm assuming that I'm probably going to be able to get like 3 more boxes out of these purchases, which the math is kind of lining up on that here. So let's go back over to unboxing, go over here, purchase 1, purchase 2, purchase 3. There we go. And we're going to basically say, screw any of the previews. Let's see what RNGesus has for us. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to get that Galaxy Note 9 that looks so tasty and so close. And I was right. So, one more after this spin. I'm going to bet you it's a gray. Yep. Another gray. And I'm pretty certain this one's going to be a gray as well. Yep. All right. Let's see what we can recycle all that for. So basically, I've put in 20. I've gotten a lot of spins. I haven't gotten anything. I probably feel like I'm getting close to getting something if I'm an individual who's kind of like taking this at face value. So that's interesting. So let's see why my items aren't showing up. Okay. They must not have been bucketed yet. So let's sell for 818. We can buy 2 more of these probably. Yeah, 2 more. Let's open. See what we get. Another gray. Super surprised. Let's open up another one, see what we get. I have a feeling it's going to be a purple, guys. I have a feeling. Oh, look, it's going to stop, and then it's going to go right over. So, as expected, this site is really just a rip that kind of plays on people's desire to gamble, which you can't fault somebody for exploiting that. It's capitalism, right? They're going to do it. But what I can fault them for is the purchasing system for the credits to the account and what seems to be the drop percentage, right? You know, I haven't really put any additional money into it, but for boxes that cost $3.99, at this point I've opened upwards of 10 of them and I haven't gotten a single item. I've gotten 1 item that was worth more than what I purchased the box for, but not worth more than the amount of money that I put in to purchase all of these boxes. Because remember, before we started this video, I had already spent that $20. And the money that I had gotten back was just from selling the items I had won, which were all gray, worthless pieces of trash. And this system is pretty much about to stop. I can purchase 1 more of these. I'll have $1.75 in my account. So unless I can sell something, again, that's worth at least $1.24, I'm not going to be able to continue this cycle of recycling boxes. And I'll basically have paid $20 for nothing. It's kind of how I felt when I was getting those grays in the first place, because I don't need, who wants them? What am I supposed to do with that? Where am I supposed to take it? So, again, I think that you guys have all kind of gotten the idea of what this site's about. I'm basically just going to keep spinning until my money's gone, because I feel like if I don't, it's not worth the purchase. But I'm definitely not going to be spending any additional money on this site. My advice to anybody out there who is looking to kind of get things as a steal like this, rather than spending your money on loot boxes here on Hypedrop, I would keep my eyes out on sites like woot.com and Daily Sale and things like that. What's nice about those sites is that they sell either factory refurbished or overstock items or discontinuing items, and you can get some really amazing deals on those items. So if you're looking to kind of save some money, I would not recommend spending $20 for 4 loot crates, getting nothing, getting more loot crates, still getting nothing, and then by the end where you finished that rotation, you don't have anything of purchase. Now, I'm going to end the video here for now. If something changes and all of a sudden through that recycling, I got a phone or something worth value, I'm going to update that at the end. But for now, we're going to call it a wash. So I appreciate you guys watching. I hope this has kind of helped out your decision to either patronize this site, seek it out, see what it's about. But my recommendation is that I would just not do it. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you.